Hello friends from YouTube, today I bring you a fascinating story, as human creativity has no limits, especially when it comes to solving everyday problems. It was the year 1955 and in the streets of any city it was common to see people smoking in the rain, trying to protect their cigarettes from water drops. A seemingly insignificant problem, but that caused a lot of frustration among the smokers of the time. It was then that an American named Robert Stern had an idea that some would consider brilliant and others perhaps absurd, a mini umbrella that could be attached directly to the cigarette. Yes, they have heard it well. A tiny umbrella specifically designed to keep the cigarette dry while smoking in the rain. On March 15, 1955, Stern filed his patent application before the United States Patent and Brands Office. The document, identified as U.S. Patent 2,747,583, described in detail this curious invention. The mini umbrella consisted of a small umbrella of waterproof material, sustained by a clip that was adjusted to cigarette. The idea was simple, but ingenious, while walking in the rain. The small umbrella would protect the timeline from the cigarette, preventing it from turning off or moistening. The design even contemplated the wind direction, allowing to adjust the angle of the umbrella for optimal protection. The most interesting thing about this story is how the spirit of innovation of the time reflects. The 50s were a decade of great technological advances and also peculiar inventions like this. The full consumer society and inventors sought solutions for all kinds of problems. As much as they might seem, the patent was finally granted on May 29, 1956. Mini umbrella. Probably not like many other inventions of his time, the mini umbrella too. For cigarettes he never got to be marketed massively, perhaps because it was a solution too elaborate for a relatively simple problem, or maybe because smokers preferred simpler methods such as covering with your hand or seeking refuge. This story teaches us several interesting lessons. First, it shows us how human creativity can manifest itself in the most unexpected forms. Second, reminds us that not all inventions, however ingenious, are intended for commercial success. And third, it allows us to take a look at the mentality and the last era concerns. It is fascinating to think about how many other similar inventions exist in the archives of the patent offices around the world. Inventions that perhaps never came to see daylight, but that represent the innovative spirit and creativity of its creators. Today, with the decrease in tobacco consumption and the greatest awareness of its harmful effects on health, this invention may seem even more curious. However, it is still an interesting testimony of how people constantly seek solutions to the problems of their daily lives. As small as they are, the history of the mini umbrella for cigarettes, that innovation does not always have to do with great technological advances or revolutionary discoveries. Sometimes it is simply trying to make a little more comfortable life, even if they are the smallest details. And although today we do not recommend tobacco consumption due to its well-known negative health effects, this story is a window to the past, showing us what the life and thought of people was more than 60 years ago. If this story seemed interesting, do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content about curious inventions and fascinating historical events. They can also share in the comments if they know other peculiar inventions that perhaps did not succeed in the market. Thanks for accompanying me on this trip to the past. See you in the next video with more surprising stories that are worth telling. See you soon.